Ben Cornish helming on the port side of T6 today, but not much of it. It was a pretty short day of sailing, a long day out on the water, short day of sailing. Technical issues on board, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, exactly. We spent a while out there today, and like you say, not a huge amount converted into sailing hours. A couple of bugs on board, let's say, gremlins, which we tried to resolve. We sent a couple of chase boats in with some replacement parts in the debugging process, and by the time we were closing in on a fix to it, the breeze actually turned off and went back to this offshore land breeze. So a bit of an opportunity missed, I guess, out there today.
So was the boat fixed by the end, or?
We should be in a good place, yeah. Not completely fixed, but I think the guys had a good handle on what was the problem at the end.
All right, let's turn our attention to Villanova, which is coming up pretty soon now. Have you guys finalised your onboard team for that event?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the crew list each day as to who's being focused in which areas, which is probably answers that question. We've been starting to up the hours with the AC40. Obviously, it's now 2 weeks away, so the priority has to start to turn towards race sharpness and the communications on board that boat.
How important is it for you guys to get a good result there? There is some importance to it in the overall cup, but for you as a team, there must be some kind of personal pride in this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the first time for teams to line up against each other and I guess stake their claim in this America's Cup. You mentioned the importance. It's not massive for the America's Cup, but just you leave a mark of what you're intending to do, and each team wants to go out there and win a regatta. So yeah, we'll be approaching it with that same attitude.
Do you think we'll see very different styles of sailing of these AC40s, or is everybody kind of getting to the same place now?
Yeah, I think a couple of weeks ago, with the first official lineups that we had on the media testing, there were a few small differences that were picked up within the coaching and the sailing team. But I think by the time we get to racing, it will come down to small mistakes here and there on the race course, manoeuvres not quite being landed or things like that. Poor starts will probably make the difference.
That's really, you're talking about consistency there. That's the big thing in one design racing. How do you practice for that? How do you train for that?
Yeah, I mean it's time on the water, effectively. As a team, we've been focusing a lot with T6, so we're probably maybe a click behind on hours. But again, the boys are out there today, and it's every moment you can go through the manoeuvres and perfect the moves is very valuable.
Final question for today: how much of the strategy will be about sailing your own race, just getting a clear lane, going fast and trying to win the race?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. We've not seen these boats race in a fleet race before, other than last weekend, and I think there will be a lot. I'm sure once a boat breaks clear of the dogfight, let's say, it may have an easier lap around the course, but yeah, there's so many unknowns. It's going to be exciting to find out.
Certainly is. Ben, thanks for sharing that with us.